As we approach the 30th anniversary to the original Donkey Kong Country, my favorite video game ever made, I wanted to talk about something that this game does incredibly well, and that's the atmosphere. There's something very special about the atmosphere of Donkey Kong Country. Beneath the obvious colorful visuals and the music and the cartoonish characters, there lies, at least to me, an unexpected layer of isolation. A kind of beautiful loneliness that wraps the game in an aura of quiet wonder. It's a feeling that lingers in your mind long after you've put the controller down, as if the world of Donkey Kong Island continues to exist without you. Let's take a moment to explore this unique atmosphere and what makes it resonate with me so deeply. From the moment that you start up the game, you're dropped into a world that feels vast, untamed, and empty. Donkey Kong Island is a place of extremes. Lush jungles filled with distant bird calls, silent caves illuminated only by flickering torches, and icy mountain peaks where the only sound is the howling wind. And despite the vivid environments, there's an overwhelming sense that this island does not revolve around Donkey Kong or you. The world feels alive, but indifferent. You're not saving a kingdom or rescuing a princess. You're just trying to reclaim what's yours, navigating a landscape that seems unconcerned with your mission. David Wise's iconic soundtrack is a very important part of Donkey Kong Country's emotional depth. The music doesn't just accompany the gameplay, but it often tells a story of its own. Aquatic Ambience's serene, ethereal feeling encompasses drifting alone in an endless ocean. Its gentle melodies evoke both beauty and vulnerability, as if you're a small creature lost in a vast, uncaring sea. The mechanical, pulsing rhythm of Fear Factory underscores the stark contrast between nature and industry. It's cold, it's impersonal, and it's a reminder of the encroaching Kremling influence. And though Stickerbush Symphony is technically from the sequel, it is still very much thematically linked. It's a hauntingly beautiful piece that lingers in the memory of players, evoking both sadness and peace. The music often feels more reflective than triumphant, emphasizing the loneliness of this adventure. One of the most striking things about Donkey Kong Country is how it uses its environments to tell a story. The jungle is full of life, but that life feels very distant. The birds fly overhead and insects buzz in the background, but none of that interacts with you. You're just passing through. And the dark, echoing caves feel ancient, like they've existed for centuries before you arrived, and will continue long after you're gone. And the biting cold and desolate landscapes of the snowfields create a sense of isolation that's almost palpable. The snow falls steadily, indifferent to your presence. And each level feels like a snapshot of a living, breathing world, but one that doesn't necessarily acknowledge you. It's as if the island itself is a silent observer, watching your journey without comment and without interaction. Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong may have each other, but that quest often feels solitary. The Kongs are the only ones fighting to reclaim the Banana Horde. Funky Kong and Cranky Kong often provide brief moments of interaction and comic relief, but for most of the adventure, you are alone. Unlike many platformers of this era, there are no villages, there are no towns, or bustling NPCs to fill this world with chatter. The only allies that you encounter are the animal buddies, and even they feel like more part of the wilderness than true companions. The absence of a larger narrative or external pressure gives the journey a very personal quality. You're not saving the world, you're not saving the galaxy or even a kingdom, you're just fighting for what matters to you. And this simplicity makes the loneliness feel profound rather than bleak. A recurring theme in Donkey Kong Country is the clash between the natural beauty of the island and the harsh industrial presence of the Kremlings. The jungles, coral reefs, and mountaintops are vibrant and full of life, but they also feel very fragile, very breakable. The Kremling's intrusion threatens to upset that delicate balance, and the factory levels are stark and cold and unwelcoming, filled with grinding machinery and toxic hazards. They're a reminder that the Kong's world isn't untouched. It's being invaded, and it's being reshaped by something cold and without feeling. This tension just adds to that beautiful loneliness. It's not just about physical isolation, but also about the emotional weight of watching something beautiful be corrupted. Something very special and almost exclusive to Donkey Kong Country is how it gives you space to breathe. The game isn't afraid of silence. There's no timer at the top right of your screen telling you that you only have a certain amount of time to complete a level. Between the action-packed levels and challenging platforming sections, there are moments where you can simply take in the atmosphere and the music. Sometimes you'll find yourself pausing to admire the way the jungle sways in the breeze, or the way the water glimmers in the coral reefs. Unlike many modern games, Donkey Kong Country doesn't bombard you with constant dialogue, cutscenes, objectives, tutorials, etc. It gives you the freedom to reflect on the journey and immerse yourself in this world. These quiet moments make the loneliness feel beautiful rather than overwhelming or oppressive. This game is a journey that will stay with you. It's very simple. It's a very simple game, but the beautiful loneliness of the original Donkey Kong Country is what makes it timeless. It's a game that doesn't just challenge your reflexes. It's not an easy game, but it speaks to something deeper. It's about being small in a very big world, finding meaning in solitude, and about appreciating the beauty of a place that feels untouched by our greedy human hands. Even after you've defeated King K. Rool and reclaimed the Banana Horde, the memory of that lonely, beautiful journey remains fresh in your mind. You can almost hear the distant echoes of aquatic ambience or feel the chill of the snowfields as you think back on your adventure, and in that moment, you realize that Donkey Kong Country, it was never just a game. It was truly an experience.